Alright, welcome to another episode of Legion TD2 commentary. And in this one I'll be playing Yolo with a bit of an odd role. The purpose of this video, for any of you Yolo players out there, is what do you do when your role... I mean, this is a great role actually, so when I say odd role, I don't mean that it's bad necessarily, but the issue in this role is that I don't have any cheap units. I don't have any tier 1s, I don't even have any tier 2s. And sometimes when you get this kind of roll, it is usually a very good idea to hit that reroll button right on wave 1. If you reroll on wave 1, it gives you a better chance to get that tier 1, a better chance than if you reroll later on. And even if you're able to play around it, it's still usually a really good idea to have a tier 1 so that you can fix your positioning really easily. And that's super important on, certain very, specific waves like 6 or 8 or something like that. So with everything I have on the board, the one thing I do really have going for me is, I am able to make this super berserker. I've got the lifesteal, I've got the Growl aura. I have a little bit of synergy with the Wild Shroom planes, and then of course a nice big fortified tank to sort of round out my weak waves later on, like 11 and 12. So, so the reason I didn't hit the reroll button is because I kind of felt like this was playable. I felt like, I wanted to push the limits and see if this could work. And that way I get to keep that extra +1 income. Or, well, I get to keep the +2 from going YOLO. So, I haven't actually been watching the game, just been talking, but, stuck at 4 workers. I think the play here, the thing that makes the most obvious sense is make sure I get a Wild Shroom down on 3, be able to go to 5 workers. So really, this whole strategy, it does depend a lot on the Wild Shroom to help me out through this early part of the game. Also, my apologies if the sound cutting out is really bothersome. I figured it was preferable to the Discord sounds, since I was still lingering in Discord at this point in the video. But I think it's going to happen one more time, and then after that, it shouldn't happen again for the rest of the video. So thank you for bearing with me and all of my many sound-related issues that I can't seem to get away from. But back to the game. So we've got the Wild Shroom on board, even split here, so that I can set myself up nicely for the Butcher aura and the Growl aura. I'm kind of already thinking about the aura placement, which is something you definitely want to do. I mean, even if you don't have aura units in your role, you still kind of want to think about aura placements in case you get one in the reroll later on. But fortunately, I only get a 20 send here, and it looks like that's also because I got what I believe was a king buff on 2, so there's no pressure on me. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to take advantage of the fact that I got the king buff, because I didn't have enough gold to push a worker and build anything, right? So this is the downside of not having these cheap units, is that if you have no pressure on you, sometimes you can't take advantage of it as much as you would like. But that's okay. We know the game plan. I actually can't build anything here, so I should have pushed that other worker earlier. Kind of forgot, right? So we're going up to 7. And the important thing here is trying to remember, or trying to make sure that I have 150 gold for the Butcher on wave 5. And it looks like we are sending full income. Even though he looks fairly strong with the double Seraphim. He's got 2 trees, maybe it could work, but I do not believe it does, and that's okay. We put on a little bit of pressure by not full sending on 3, I'm pretty sure, so that was kind of more what it was about anyway. We'll keep sending income, make sure that we make sure we stay in the game. get the Butcher Aura down. I do place it in front so that the Butcher tanks. And maybe, you know, maybe the Wild Shroom tanks a little bit. Do a little split tanking there. And if you're familiar with these units, I mean, it seems pretty clear, you know, kind of what the plan is. You know, I hold here, it's just income. I'm not sure if a Brute would have leaked me here, it might have, but they weren't super interested in putting on the pressure, which is maybe why this build worked as well as it did. But, you know, now I push because I'm pretty freaking strong on 6, and the next goal is probably making sure that that Wild Shroom comes out on wave 7. So the Wild Shroom is definitely an important piece of this puzzle here. I get the Dragon Turtle out just on income, which is always nice. And it looks like I'm thinking about something. So I am quite undervalued, right? At 9 workers, definitely a little scared. And instead of putting the Wild Shroom on the Butcher Aura, which kind of messes up that aggro I was talking about earlier, I'll put the Wild Shroom back here, where it'll eventually get the benefits of the Graw Aura instead. I do get skipped here, so this will be my first sort of real test of the game. And my guy, the guy I'm sending to, has a decently strong build, so I don't, you know, see any huge weaknesses I want to exploit just yet. And this is where it'd be really nice to have a tier 1, because you could add into the split, make it even better. But fortunately, instead of building like, you know, the Tempest or something like that on 6, I did build that extra Wild Shroom, so I don't feel like super threatened here. And then in the end, they just sent income anyway, so, you know, they were just stopping me from pushing a little. I'm not sure if, you know, maybe double Brute would have actually leaked me decent. Not sure if it would have been super worth it, but definitely didn't feel like I was unleakable in this situation, but maybe they saw the second Wild Shroom on 6 and thought that there was just no way. And maybe, you know, maybe that would have been true. But, you know, I have a lot of plans for the late game. So this is the kind of game where, yeah, I might send Otto a little more than I normally would. Because I'm trying to get to that late game. I'm trying to get the pieces of the puzzle all on the board. Because the sooner I have that super berserker, the more I can kind of lean on that and push off of it. So sometimes when you have these big combos, you might end up sacrificing a little bit of push in the early mid game. But there's a trade-off there. You're trying to get your strong combos on the board so that, you know, you can hold with less value. And now, you know, no pressure. They definitely could have tried to look 9. I don't think I look very good 9 at all, but and maybe they know I'm a filthy overbuilder and they don't want to play that game with me, so you can't really blame them. And it's good they sent income here too, because since I added the Grarl, I would have definitely, I probably would have leaked to a real set. Oh, we go for Surprise Brute. So I was saying earlier that my guy had a pretty strong looking build, but he does have a couple of Seraphim, a Cage of Pain, and he added, for some reason he added a Priestess, and so that doesn't scream super strong on 9 to me, so felt like it made sense. Might not be a big enough send though. We'll see. He has an antler, which is definitely good value. I'm not really sure where his damage is coming from on this wave. This game was at least a week ago, so I actually genuinely don't remember everything that happens. I would be shocked if he holds, but I'm not even looking. I'm thinking, apparently. Because I did play super safe here. Yeah, okay, he barely leaks. Is that worth the brute? Probably not. But if we have more workers than they do and it's a long wave, that's not terrible. And so yeah, kind of going back to what I was saying earlier about, you know, this. Oh, I'm really thinking about what to do here. I think I was really deliberating if I should sell the Grarl to upgrade the Berserker, or if I should push or what. Oh, oh, and I do in fact sell the Grarl for the Berserker. So this is one of those things where, you know, am I overbuilt? Like, super overbuilt. But hopefully if I get an income send here, I wouldn't really call that much of an income send. But I'm giga strong now. Because it's all coming together. And I don't know why I sent these buffs instead of full sending. I mean, I knew what he had on his board. And it's a ton of magic damage. Not super strong on 10. So I should have full sent, but
take my spear. Attack!
So what's the play here? Oh yeah. We just go for a bunk and a plane. Seems solid to me. Pretty sure this plane might just die, but that's okay. And I take the counterattack because maybe I leak a little, you know? Maybe I pro leak. Maybe I'm able to, you know, the thought again is if I can push a bit harder. And I did hold, I sent income, but I held the rest of my Mythium here. And once again, they sent income. Maybe sensing I would be a little overbuilt for this. I still feel like maybe you should try though. If all of my value is in this Berserker, it is not a very great. You know, I feel like it was either this wave or 12 was your last chance to really like try and punish. And I feel like these income sends, I understand the logic of not wanting to try hard send if you think that they're just going to be massively overbuilt. But the alternative is you're just kind of letting them run away with the game, which is sort of what's happening here. Because now the ball's in our court, right? That was their big send? Question mark? You know, like, so far I think we have a decent plan. If I could shut up for a second. Go 14. See, I think after I said that I realized I shouldn't be talking at all because I'm going to voice over this later, so. And yeah, I mean, I'm just not sure exactly what their idea is at this point. I could not be stronger on 13. So there's no fear at all. Oh yeah, that's right. So my teammate decides to go 13. I thought it was the freest 14 that we've ever had. We're in no danger on 13 at all. But my teammate, you know, he's looking at that board. I mean, it looks like really bad on 14 to me, but you know, he had other ideas. He thought he could catch him off guard. And I do remember at the time thinking, well, hopefully this isn't like a game-losing mistake, you know? Split sending is... It's not it's not always a bad idea, and usually in the early mid game, it's much better than split sending late game. I feel like you should almost never split send late, but this is, you know, we're in the mid game still, and it's possible. But with the amount of natural armor that this guy had, I mean, yeah, he's gonna leak, but would you call this worth it? Because I probably wouldn't. Doesn't seem worth it to me. But on the upside, that person now is like, okay, sweet, I got sent. And they might, you know, if they're not realizing that their teammate is about to receive a huge send, they might push a few workers thinking they have to. That would be a mistake, because my teammate is resending, I'm sending big. Definitely not the time to press the worker button if you just received that send on 13. So the build has kind of come together. I've been talking a lot about the sends. I do send double witch, a couple auras, solid send. I just get income. Okay, I think we're seeing why this game kind of turned out the way it did. Maybe in the future I'll choose one where I actually get pressured. Because like this, you know, this kind of game is a little too, it might be a little too straightforward. But I still love seeing a good build come together. I think that's fun. I'm sure other people enjoy it too. I mean, this almost just freaking kills him. I mean, it gets pretty close to do it. Okay, maybe not that close. I take it back. And when I said killed him, I mean to 50%. Oh, we get that plane going. Oh, the reroll comes out. Guess I'm trying to figure out 16. I don't really know. Like, everything is Swift. Swift and Arcane. What do I even do? What am I even doing here? Okay, I end up just taking out the Butcher, get a Swift tank, get another Swift tank for 16. And we even get the income. So, a little questionable. Although, maybe this actually makes me leak. I am under 400. But the fun part about that, and I'm surprised I'm not pushing at least a few workers right now. But the fun part about it is, oh no, I'm not leaking, am I? Oh, I am. I mean, I have counterattack. So this is actually just the perfect, like, what a terrible income send from them. Like, yeah, they get some shutdown gold, but the counterattack Mythium, the long wave, now I push 2 workers. Great.
Oh, what does this potion
I don't know
do?
why I didn't push those earlier, but that's okay. Sometimes I think a little too much about how much gold I'm gonna have, and about holding. One thing I could have done that I did not do is before rolling the Butcher away, I could have put an unupgraded Butcher where I just put that Berserker. Would have given my big boy even more lifesteal, and that would have been a good play. But I don't know, the reroll, was it super necessary? No, but you also kind of feel like the game is ending, so might as well use it. And this is, this looks like, yeah, like they never hold this, ever. I mean, I got the Witch, the Imps, all for the gates, you know. Auras you generally want on 16, but there was no need for a Mole, because he had no AoE damage. So, you just get as much magic damage on the wave as you can. All the imps get buffed from the pack leader. It's a beautiful thing.
Victory.
Alright, well hopefully that was enjoyable. I know that the beginning was kind of annoying with the sound going in and out, but it shouldn't be a problem in the future. Sometimes I just linger in Discord and people make noises that I don't think you would want to hear. So, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.